It's week 3. Waiver wires are about to run, and we got to get prepped and ready because, wow, injuries, they'll be popping. Yo! What's happening, everybody? Here we go, walking the wire for Too Much Fantasy Football over on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Thanks for checking us out, whether you're over on Twitter or here on YouTube. We appreciate you hopping in here, hanging out. It's just me today. It's the Walking the Wire episode. Had to kick out Brandon. I needed some conversation with me, with you, the listener, and I needed him not to interrupt me because you know what? We're going down some rabbit holes today. It's going to get wild. It's going to get crazy. We have injuries to talk about. We have pickups to talk about, whether or not you have the keys moving forward, or maybe the injuries have kind of taken you down, so you need a little help. So today we will be working our way all the way through that, starting off with a little quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, toss them in there. We'll get through them. We'll start chatting them out. Maybe you're freaking out. Maybe you're on tilt. Maybe you're 0-2 and you don't know what to do. Well, I'm here to help, or at least talk you through it, because yeah, I've got some 0-1 teams, some 0-2 teams. It's hurting, that's for sure. Injuries. Let's get into it. Let's talk about them. We have several here to break it out. It really begins, I think, with the quarterback position. So let's start off. J.J. McCarthy, that first game, first week, it started looking great. He turned it around in the second half, more so that final quarter, but looked great. And there in the week 2, we'll miss 2 to 4 weeks because of an ankle sprain. All right. Is it Carson Wentz time, man? All we talked about it all offseason is J.J. McCarthy this, J.J. McCarthy that. He's going to be awesome. Why? Because Kevin O'Connell is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. So does that translate over to Carson Wentz? I mean, there's no reason we're jumping to play him this week. The matchup's pretty brutal for him. Just kidding. They play the Bengals. Like, are we streaming Carson Wentz week 1? Are we jumping into it? I don't know. I'm struggling here. Matthias and popping in the chat. What's happening, man? This is our Colts. This is our team. Dude, we're bleeding something right now. We're living high. It's the high life, man. It's 2-0. It's better than I can say for a lot of my fantasy teams. But, yeah, Indianapolis, what's happening? I mean, you've got that. You've got the Texans starting off 0-2. Jags, I think, are 1-1. And then the Titans, they're down there. So, who knows? Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones coming in there to save us all, I guess. It's ridiculous. But I'm here for it. I'm excited. Just getting a little nervous because the longer this train rolls, the higher of a chance we re-sign him, and I don't know if that's exactly the route I want to go. But yeah, J.J. McCarthy. Are we looking at Carson Wentz? And a 12-team Superflex, I think I'm willing to kick the tires on Carson Wentz this week. Just in the Kevin O'Connell offense going up against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to have a backup quarterback out there, so who knows what kind of situation we're going to be leaning in. Matthias coming back in here. I've got Burrow in 2 leagues. One, I have no backup, and the other I have is McCarthy. So I got to pick up a QB in one of those. Hey, it's going to be a scramble then, buddy. I was just throwing out there, Carson Wentz is going to be in consideration, I guess, if you're in a deep enough league. Come on. If not that, then we have to mess with the DFS, because Mac Jones, he brought home some money this past week just because it looked too enticing not to mess with. Other quarterbacks, I guess, who else are you going to be looking at? I'm trying to pull up here what I've got as far as notes. Quarterback Daniel Jones, if he's still floating out there in a super flex league, I'm not sure. I had to pick him up in a lot of my leagues this past week just because I didn't know how much farther he would be sitting out there. Jake Browning, Mac Jones. Like, are these the names we're going to be looking at here? It's pretty rough out there. I'm not going to lie. I'll pull up, let's pull up Yahoo's numbers, see who's being ranked the highest, who's being ranked the lowest as far as all that's running. Of course, it's going slow. Gotta love Yahoo, man. Not really, we don't have to. All right, quarterbacks, let's see what we have here. All players, we're going to search by rostered. It's not looking pretty, man. It's not going to look pretty. I mean, Tua's down there at 21% owned. Matthew Stafford down there at 28. Geno. Michael Penix, he plays Carolina this week. He's talking about streamers. Like, that's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. Let's look at other guys that have been hurt. So we talked about J.J. McCarthy there, out 2 to 4 weeks. And what I'm kind of nervous at, like we saw a slight rushing ability. We got that touchdown in week 1. how much does he do this after the ankle injury? Is he hobbled by that? And does that really put us in a position where you're excited to stream him? Because everybody seemed to be excited to stream him here in week 2. I can get love in one league, but do I use a waiver priority on him? Oh man, probably. I think so. Just if you're saying you've got Joe Burrow, like he's out for the season, so like this isn't just roll the dice. Hopefully I get him. If not, I can make do. You need a new filler. So if it's really thin out there and love's all you can get, I might be burning the priority. We'll also say I haven't played in a waiver priority league in a while, so I don't remember how how intense it gets as far as making sure you don't burn that. It's been a while since I played in one of those leagues. Let me pull what else we have here deep. Yeah, Daniel Jones about 20% of leagues. I mean, Sam Darnold plays New Orleans this week. You messing with it? Oh, okay. Well, here we go. We got some action. Stafford. We got Stafford. We have Flacco, Wilson, Wentz, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, or some of the others on both leagues. Yeah, Daniel Jones, I think I'd be going after. So maybe you don't burn the priority on Love, go after him. But if you can't get him, I think you could probably patch it together with a little Daniel Jones action, maybe some Wentz this week. Russell Wilson, how long does that last? I mean, it's going to be Russell Wilson and what you call it, Jackson Dart, if and when he pops on there. Fingers crossed we get Winston traded, man. I want that to happen so badly. But yeah, I'd kick the tires there. If you want to keep that waiver priority, if you're really holding out for something big happening in here the next couple weeks, then yeah, sure, go for it. Keep it close to the vest. Other guys, Jaden Daniels, truly day to day is the quote we have. Do you want to buy into that? The guy we love to be rushing the ball, the guy that we love to have rushing all over the place. Do we really want him with the day-to-day knee injury? I don't know. With all these injuries that are happening, I'm most likely still playing him. Like I don't think that's gonna keep him out of my lineup. They're playing the Raiders this week. Raiders played decent enough, I guess. Justin Fields concussion. That one's probably pretty locked in. He's gonna miss the game. We'll have Tyrod Taylor coming out there against the Buccaneers. How great of a game was he gonna have anyway? Probably a good one. It's gonna be the every other back and forth. We got a little bit more in the chat. We got Griffin. I need help with trade question. Throw them at me, man. Throw them at me. I haven't got to get any trade movement in my redraft leagues right now, so I'm just like frothing at the mouth for a good trade. So throw them out. What you got for us, Griffin? Jacob got us start 2. Cup, DJ Moore, Keon Coleman, Judy, Pittman, and PP. We were early with start sit, man. We haven't even made it through waivers. Just off the dome because I just started working on my rankings a few hours ago. I haven't got those published on Fantasy Pros yet. If you're looking for them, too much Brian Hartman, it's all there, lining up for you. We got Cup, DJ Moore, Keon Coleman. Right off the dome, I'd probably go Pittman. Pittman and Keon Coleman probably have the biggest ceiling here. I don't remember who the Browns are playing. Browns are playing the Packers, so let me nix Judy. Probably Nick's Cup as well, so it'd probably be Pittman and then either Coleman or DJ Moore for me. But a lot of the week left to grind through here, so that's for sure. Who's our Thursday game again? Bills Dolphins. Gross. So Keon Coleman, you're gonna have to pull that trigger here soon. All right, Mathiason's back. Yeah, waiver priority got serious towards the end after people dropped their Ray Davis, Braylon Allen, and some other guys. You can instantly get a guy. I want to get that for. Hey, I feel you. If it's going to be that much of a fight, go ahead and hold on to that first priority. Like you said, you've got quite a few options to choose from at QB. I bet you can make some magic happen. All right, Griffin's coming in here. Let's talk some trades. Love it. It's Waiver Wire Tuesday, but it's never too early for a trade. The amount of times I've tried to get a 2-for-1 trade done on Tuesday just to get that extra waiver slot, they never do it, though. My league knows what I'm trying to do. I got offered 2 trades. One was Connor and Ertz for Kyron or ETN. All right, so we got Connor and Ertz for Kyron or ETN and Ertz for Kyron. Oh, wow. I kind of look at ETN and Connor both as sell candidates right now. Kyron, they want either an RB. I already have Warren at tight end. Which RB would you rather trade away? That one's rough. They're really both sitting in the exact same position as far as Yeah, trading away Ertz. No, I think that's a great call. I think he's going to be a nice top 5 consideration just about every week. But if you have Warren, that completely makes sense. Um, I'm okay with either because I mean Connor, you have Benson right there behind him. He is older, so if you really want to build it into it, I think statistically Connor probably has a higher chance of getting hurt, something happening, being displaced by Benson. We are seeing the numbers tick up here. Let's try and pull those up for us. Just as far as the split numbers we're looking at here, but ETN, man, Tootin. I'm a huge Tootin fan. Absolutely love him. I'm all here for it. So it's gun to my head. I'm probably going to get rid of Connor and Ertz for Kyron. Definitely move to Ertz. I think it's a really smart move. I think ETN might have a higher chance of giving you the sustainability, but just rank which RB you want. I would just keep your team, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, getting rid of Ertz and like hold on to Ertz and Warren, you're never going to be playing them both at the same time. So yeah, go ahead and trade away. Yeah, get rid of Connor. Do it. Look at me tilting back and forth already. What else we have? We got Brooks popping in here. Trade PPR. I give Chase Brown. I receive Ashton Genty and Krosky Merritt. Yeah, go for it. At this point, I know there's lots of question marks with the Bengals. Chase Brown should probably be at least 80% of what he would have been with Burrow, but didn't get a lot of checkdowns this past game when Browning came in. Small sample size, of course, but if you're really looking at it. And Ashton Genty, come on, better days are ahead. First 2 weeks, 2 really hard defenses. I mean, these rookies. Look at Bijan just 2 years ago. His rookie season, it took him some time. We really had to go get it rocking and rolling. Raiders aren't a good team, so it's going to take a bit. But Krosky Merritt should have a pretty significant piece of that offense going forward. Of course, he's not going to get the passing down work, which is probably the most valuable. But yeah, go ahead and I pulled the trigger on Chase Brown. I was really high on him this year. I had him ranked, I think, RB5 or 6. But with the news coming of Burrow, it's definitely going to shake you a little bit. Cool. What else we got, folks? I got nothing left in the chat, so let's go back to the waiver. Start working our way through the rest of this. We're talking quarterbacks. The only other one I didn't bring up was Brock Purdy. Missed week 2 due to turf toe. Expect to be out at least one more week. Mac Jones might be the viable option again this coming week. As I said, let me double check. Yeah, they're playing the Cardinals. I'd be willing to do it. Moving on running backs. Let's talk some running back action here. I have several I'm looking at. There's nothing like big. You know, we haven't had that huge ACL. Not that we're looking for that huge ACL tear, but we haven't had one yet. So right now we're still kind of picking up a lot of these multi-back pieces, trying to figure out what they're looking at. And Blake Corum, man, if I didn't love some Jarquez Hunter this summer, it looks like Blake Corum is breaking into that RB2 role, and he's actually taken over a little bit more. The sharing of the load between him and Kyron did go up just a little bit over week 2, so there is going to be that. Kenneth Gainwell, Najee Harris, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, all are going to be running backs we're looking at. Mathiasen coming in here. Troy Franklin, thoughts on him? I think he's talented enough. I think he's going to be involved enough in this offense. And I think he's got 24%. Let me pull it up here. Highest target share across the offense right now. He has, granted, Sutton kind of got shut down by the Colts defense. That's kind of the way they like to play, shut down your best option. But my worry with Franklin is I don't know if he's going to be consistent because we had Marvin Mims. We had the hype of him going into week 1. We got a lot of the preseason. And then there's also the rookie Pat Bryant, who they took a little higher than consensus, but took him in the 3rd round. So my worry with this team is you're going to have the consistent piece in Cortland Sutton, somewhere in that wide receiver 2 range. And then you're going to have that other wide receiver, whether it be Franklin, whether it be Bryant, whether it be Mims. They're going to have relevant games, but how often can you actually predict them? So do I think they need to be Troy Franklin needs to be owned in 12-team leagues? Absolutely, 100%. I'm all for that. But at the same time, I don't know how confident I would be in playing him if I have multiple options. You know, if he's just kind of a plug and play there. My brother, a Rams fan, thinks they were saving Kyron for the Eagles this week. Very well could be. They're going to have to give it a great shot. And Kyron's metrics have been down. You know, when you really look at his intangibles, they haven't been great. And the Eagles have done a pretty good job at stopping running backs for the most part, especially now that they've got Jalen Carter back in the lineup for week 2. But they may be, saving them, getting them ready for that. That game should be a great one. It's, what is it, a 1 o'clock game? Yeah, 1 o'clock game. That'll be good. But I mean, how much is, is this going to be another slugfest? Is this going to be a 17-20 game, a 16-20, somewhere in there where if Kyron doesn't get a touchdown, you're really disappointed? Much like you were this past week. 17 for 66, caught both of his targets for 14 yards. Kyron's can be that guy. If he's not that consistent going into the end zone, it can really hurt you. Griffin! What's happening? What do we got? My RBs would be Henry, Cook, Kyron, Connor, or ETN. I mean, really, it doesn't matter there. I think it's dealer's choice. If this is what you're looking at, because you'd be starting Henry, Cook, and Kyron, most weeks you probably wouldn't be playing those 4 RBs. If you have a double flex, you're probably looking to start at least 3 wide receivers, looking for that high variable, that high variance chance of really getting an explosion. So if you're asking which one, Connor or ETN, should be your RB4, follow your gut. Follow your gut. I'd like to say Connor would be my favorite, but ETN, who knows what's going on with that situation. Wide receivers, looking at Jefferson, Sutton, Ridley, Abuka, DJ Moore, and trying to trade for someone like Tyreek Hill or buy low on Ladd. I actually am not a big fan of buying into Ladd. I think he's going to continue to run into this the rest of the season. Whether QJ is actually developing into a real wide receiver or not, Keenan Allen's still going to be there. I just don't know. They aren't going to need Ladd the way they did last year. They have plenty of options. Even if somebody gets hurt, Trey Tucker, the second-round wide receiver they took, he's standing there waiting to pop into the mix. What was the 7th, 6th-round guy that was getting all the hype in the preseason? Like, he's there as well. I'm not a huge fan as far as, like, what Ladd's ceiling is going to bring you this year. Tyreek Hill, too. Does he go to the Chiefs? Like, can we jump down that rabbit hole? I'm totally in on that. Oh, Griffin. There's a thought. I absolutely love that. You want to go get Rashee Rice? I think that's brilliant. You stack him in there. Jefferson, Sutton, Ridley, Abuka. So towards the end of the season, you're looking at like Jefferson, Abuka, and Rice being your main guys. Yeah, go do that. There you go. Go do that. I love that. Love that idea for you, man. Go get Rice. Go get Rice. Back to the running backs, though. We'll kind of keep chipping away, just top to bottom, as y'all. Ladd is a little disappointed since Charger is my second team, but I understand why it's low right now. Just Allen and Q are dogs as well. Yeah, it's a mouth kind of, it's a feeding situation. And fortunately, this is kind of best situation when it comes to the passing game. Like, they are passing so much more than the Greg Roman thumpers that we were getting all summer. Like, oh, Omari Hampton's going to feast. He's going to be eating it up. He's going to be running so much. They're kind of letting Herbert do his thing. They're letting him toss the rock because he looks good doing it. So I think what we might be seeing is a bit of an evolution as far as Greg Roman and Harbaugh, they've worked and they've focused. So I love what's going to be happening there. But yeah, it's a lot going on. Chargers kind of look right now as if we thought the Bears were going to. We thought we were going to see 3 viable options there, 2.5 of them being relevant. And right now, yeah, the Bears just aren't giving us anything outside of Odunze. Griffin coming in. Absolutely, man. Got you covered. Anytime. We'll be here every Tuesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're talking Walking the Wire. Usually be me and Brennan. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I just got to block them out of there. Get a little one-on-one time or 1v18 here. Matthias, what you got here, man? Good sign at the goal line. They ran 3 straight times. Hampton's still a decent flex play. His TDs will come 100%. Yeah, I'm not off on Hampton by any means. Like a lot of these rookies right now. It's going to take a little bit of time. The matchups did not come up well for him. At least week 1 going with the Chiefs. The Raiders played pretty well, so give it a little bit of time. By the time, if you can get to week 6 and be 3-3 with Hampton, I think you'll be happy because the steam will build up. Touchdowns should start dropping. This offense really can start humming. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not freaking out on Hampton. If anything, if you're 2-0, maybe you can go buy him. Maybe you can go pick him up. All right, other running backs. I think a majority of these running backs I've been talking about, they are going to be those handcuff pieces. I think it was Matthias and throwing it out there just a minute ago. your Ray Davises, the DJ Giddens for the Colts, I think is a great one to grab as well. But there's not really that huge player to pick up. Let's check out roster percentage as far as Yahoo's concerned. Just guys that are under 65%. Quinshon Judkins is at 62. I'd pick him up. Dylan Sampson, 61%. They've got a rough matchup against Green Bay, so that one's going to hurt. But I still think he can be Scatabo. It's week 2. Did he just take over? I love Tracy's talent. Absolutely devastated that nothing can really come of him as far as Dynasty goes. But Cam Scatabo, they got Kansas City this week. I think he should be owned, though. We've got Tootin. I've seen lots of people talking crap about Tootin, how you can't go pick him up. 55% ownership. Folks, I get it. If you're those mad degenerates there in Sleeper, no, you can't get them. But if you play in the home leagues, you play in the office leagues, they're usually in Yahoo or ESPN. Tootin's available in 45% of leagues. Trey Benson, we've got at 52%. Then we get down to the Rashad Whites at 36. Jerome Ford, that's 12-team league when you're really hurting. Tajay Spears is still at 32%. If you've got an IR spot and you can't put out players in them, go get Tajay Spears. Put him in. Tony Pollard has not looked as great as I hoped. Granted, it was 2 of the harder matchups he probably could have had going into this, but Tajay Spears, when he comes back, there's a potential he can plug in there. We got Ray Davis at 26. I don't like Gordon's at 26%. To a certain extent, he needs to be owned. Jaden Blue, win. Do we get that action there? It's been Javonte Williams, man. Blues at 22%, Garindo's at 8%, Blake Corum at 8%, Gainwell at 8%, Woody Marks. Have we talked about the fact that we've got a backfield with Chubb and Woody back there? Like, come on, it's just too easy. It writes itself, folks. It's all writing itself. But yeah, Woody Marks, huge fan of what he could possibly do, just as far as I don't like the talent in that backfield. I haven't all summer. Matthiasen, not all leagues, Tootin taken, 100%. I get you, man. I think I picked him up in 2 leagues last week. Kind of weird, strange leagues, just as far as like one of them's a Grand Theft Auto league and the other one's a, oh my God, dropping the link. But yeah, Tootin's going to be gone in the most part, but I'm just reading here, 55%, man. That's why I like playing with some randos, because every now and then you get in those leagues and great players are just sitting on the waiver wire. Chris Rodriguez, we have sitting at around 4%. That's about all we have. Let's talk wide receivers. We actually have some that we can dive into here. Troy Franklin was brought up. Mike's popping in the chat. What's happening, Mike? How we doing today? Looks like somebody's playing some hooky from work. I appreciate you coming in here, hanging out with me, Matthiasen, and Griff, if he's still hanging around. Troy Franklin, rostered in about 3%. I don't mind it. If your league's picked up most of the good players, the ones that you can really see something happening, so I don't mind that. Wandale Robinson. I need somebody to hop in the chat and talk me into it. I get it. 24% target share over the first 2 weeks. It's dope. That's dope. And usually, what's he get? Like 6 catches for 38 yards? Like, that's crap. But last week we saw it. I think it was 156 yards, if I'm remembering correctly. Average depth of target, something we've never, ever seen from him. So, does that continue? Does Russ throw the ball, or was this just happenstance with what happened with the game? So, I don't know if it's going to be for me, but folks, that probably means you should go get him, because I'm gonna watch somebody else use against him. My boy, thank you for bringing this one up. Look, folks, if you didn't watch the recap show I dropped on the Too Much Fantasy Football YouTube channel, head on over there. I brought this up. I think it's worth talking about because in a 10-team league last week, I dropped Travis Hunter. Now, I know, big eyeballs from some people. It was a situation I had. It was drop him or Keenan Allen. It just wasn't happening. So I think this might need to be a discussion, because right now BTJ's got something happening. I don't know if it's the defense. Some people's calling him soft. I don't know. And Travis Hunter, it's just he hit 100% of snaps this past week, and just nothing happened. So De'Ami Brown could be a potential target as far as the consolidation of this work. I still want to see really how this passing game keeps moving, because really it's the running game that only has me intrigued right now. But De'Ami Brown already showing that he is a piece of this offense as far as receptions go. He's definitely a floor guy. Wandale play, yeah. Definitely a spot start if you're filling in like a 2 flex league, something like that. I could really see Wandale helping you out, giving you a high upside, but no, it hurts. That's why I hate 10-team leagues. Dude, I was very anti 10-team leagues a few years ago, but I've kind of come around to it. If you have enough starting spots, the rosters are built right. 10 teams have some advantages to them, just as far as they're pretty cool. Just it's a lot of firepower, a lot of points, but all in all, I hate having great players sitting there on the waiver wire. It's a community league for something else, so I didn't get to pick the settings. Ooh, what's we got? Suave in here. Trade Josh Allen for Bo Nix and AJ Brown. Standard PPR 12 team. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't. So a lot of this offseason, I talked how I wasn't into Bo Nix. Not because I thought he was a bust, but I did in comparison to his draft cost. I thought we were paying just a little bit more for the guy that would be like an advanced streamer. You're not necessarily starting him every single week. There's going to be a couple weeks where you might have to swap him out for matchups, but he's still better than the average streamer. But Josh Allen, man, I get it. There's bumps and bruises. I think it was 4 times last year he had below a QB19 performance, which isn't typical for him. And we were just coming off of that. Oh man, AJ Brown. I was so hype on him coming into it. We had to see a bounce back as far as the passing game went for the Eagles. We had to see Devonta Smith more involved, AJ Brown more involved. And right now it's not happening. They don't really need it. The defense is so good. So if you believe in AJ Brown, I don't hate going for it. It seems decent enough, but I might keep Josh Allen if your wide receivers are tough enough, because I mean he's just, you're not streaming Josh Allen. No matter how many lumps he gives you, you're just not streaming him. And he's as pretty consistent as it comes. It's like him and Lamar, I think, were the only two guys that had consistent games as much as they did. So I'd hold tight. Maybe if you can get a different quarterback, maybe. I don't know. I'm willing to trade him, but I don't think that quite moves the needle for me. Kind of agree. It just doesn't feel like enough. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I want to be a little bit more confident there as far as what I'm grabbing. Bo Nix makes me hesitate a little bit. And if you're trading away if you're in a single quarterback league, you took him in the second round, most likely, hope maybe the third. But I'm gonna hold tight. What's Matthias helping us out here? Yeah, I have a 12-team super flex, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, and no kicker in defense. And it's just nice to start a bunch of guys. I remember if you do. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but so you got the recommendation there of a 10-team league should be super flex. My home league is actually a 10-team league. It's super flex. We do 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, so it's a big starting lineup, and the bench is pretty beefy too. I haven't done it yet, but I want to do an 8-team league where it's 2 quarterback and a super flex. So potentially starting 3 quarterbacks every single week. 8 teams, that means 24 quarterbacks would be essentially used each week. So you'd have enough to still everybody kind of own 4-ish, maybe some waiver wire action, but just that sort of urgency to have 3 quarterbacks potentially in your starting lineup. I think the math only works out in an 8, maybe 10, but look out, man. Next year I might be putting something out, see if we can get some of the community in there, because it's definitely something I think could be fun. Thanks, bro. Subscribe. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Subscribe. Anybody else, first-time listener, if you're looking for a little bit of fun, a little bit of action here, Too Much Fantasy Football, that's the show I'll be bringing you here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. But thanks for listening. Got him at 301. That's some value there. Not a fan of the second-round quarterback. Granted, it's 1 pick away from that. But third round, that's when the quarterback conversations begin. Love it. Sounds fun. Maybe 3 RBs, 3 wide receiver, and 2 flex. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're trimming out defense and kicker 100%. I think to really feel the full effects of a 3 quarterback league, you would have to take out the variables that defense and kicker bring you. 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, 100%. You would need those in there, I think, too, just to use up many of those players. But I haven't played an 18 team in a while. It might need the 3-3-2. It'd be pretty dope. Like I said, man, we need to make that happen next season. We'll see if we can get that rocking and rolling for some of us here playing. Cool. Anybody listening? Questions, comments, concerns? Toss them in the chat. It's pretty loose, pretty free going here. I'm just gonna keep working through some waiver wire stuff as we have in between comments. But we got another 30 minutes rocking and rolling. Thanks for listening. Comments, likes, subscribe. You know the stuff that we're supposed to say. Wide receivers. All right. I've heard the last name like 4 different times, so back off. Okay, I'm going to say it. I like Ao Manor. Somebody told me to say Mayo Manor and take out the M. It's fun enough, but Alec Ao Manor, the rookie wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. Rough situation last week with him and Cam Ward catching or getting the touchdown. Both of them rookies. Both of them first touchdown. Who gets to keep the ball? If it were up to me, you guys get it there for a week, every week, just like the step parents. You meet in the McDonald's parking lot, you swap it off, you take it home for another week. I think that'd be fun. You could do some great stuff with it. But either way, this kid is crushing it as far as the target share goes. I was really hoping that we could get a Chigakonkwo season in, finally at that age where the athletic tight end can break out. It won't be happening at the beginning of the season. We need Cam Ward to continue to develop, and I think that can't happen. Very rough first 2 games. Denver's defense and then the Rams back-to-back. Really rough stuff there. But if this continues, I still think Ridley's going to be used. He got the Surtain-Curtan against Denver. So yeah, he got shut down there. Last week wasn't great either, but I do believe we'll see a little bit more work from him, a little bit more consistency going forward. But can we get flexibility out of Ao Manor going forward? I don't know. Definitely something worth looking at. 10-team leagues, probably not. 12-team, for sure. Go kick the tires. Check them out. There's not a whole lot rolling out there depending on the competitiveness of your league. Jaden Reed, we talked about for weeks with this broken foot. Can he play? Can he not? Can he manage it? Most guys can't. Well, it doesn't matter. He broke his collarbone on a dope touchdown catch on Thursday night. Didn't count. I believe it was a holding penalty. Called it back. So broke it for nothing, unfortunately. Not nothing, man. Sucks that you broke it. We'll see you back in 6 to 8 weeks. In the time being, though, we have Matthew Golden. If people are frustrated and just not even thinking, go get him. I'll pick him up, even if he doesn't give you anything for another week or 2 just because he's a rookie. I want to take the shot. Because when it comes down to it, do you really want Romeo Doubs? Do you really want Dontavian Wicks outside of a 12-team league? No. No, I don't. Romeo Doubs I can mess with. I've been kind of talking about him for the last several weeks as far as those deeper leagues, PPR play. I didn't mind him in guillotine leagues, just going where you would get him as one of your last picks. So I do think there will be something with him, but Wicks, that's as risky as it comes. It's a whiskey pick. Yeah, I know, bad joke. We'll work through it. But yeah, Dontavian Wicks, for all of the fantasy gurus that sit there and go through their spreadsheets, I get it. His metrics are awesome. It's just his hands aren't. He just can't catch the ball consistently. And I don't know if I want to put him out there on my team if I want to be making those shots. So definitely going to be struggling there to want to pick him up. But Romeo Doubs in a full PPR, I can get behind that for sure. We got Braxton in the chat trying to trade Higgins. I imagine T. Higgins or Odunze for RB2. Thoughts on who to target? So I would try to trade T. Higgins first. People might be a little sus, especially with the whole Burrow thing, but I would rather try to get rid of T. Higgins versus Odunze. Odunze should pull in quite a bit. I believe he's wide receiver 4 through the first 2 weeks. I really don't want to get rid of him. He looks like he might be the only consistent part of this offense, even if this offense is bad. I still think he's going to be consistent, and if they turn it around and start looking good, I think it's going to be even better for him. So, yeah, definitely try to get rid of T. As far as running backs to target, man, that's that's one of the hard ones. I believe in Kenneth Walker. I believe that he still will be in a 60-40, 55-45 split, something like that. But he is the explosive player out of the two. And if that manager is hoping that, I can sell him after a good week 2, they don't really believe in him, I kick the tires there. I think he's somebody that going forward, he is going to be risky, but no risk it, no biscuit. Isn't that what they say? T. Higgins for Bashaw Tootin. I think I'd want a little bit more, but I really like Bashaw Tootin's trajectory at this point. Quinshon Judkins. Look, I was not excited about him coming into the season just because I wasn't sure what situation the Browns are going to be in, but maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you can absolutely crush there. If you want to trade T for maybe Omarion Hampton or Ashton Genty or Trey Henderson, any of those rookie running backs that really haven't performed yet, the issue is pass protection, man. So many of these guys are having pass protection issues, despite Travion Henderson having the best. I believe he was the best pass protector in this running back class. So I don't know what's quite going on with there, but I don't mind a move for any of those guys. Breece Hall, I get it. It was rough this past week, but Buffalo's a good team. They only have to play him one more time. So Breece Hall might be somebody I'd be looking to go after too, especially with T. Higgins. I imagine his value is going to be dipped down a little bit unless you just play where they're not paying attention at all. We got Nino, number one priority. Would you lean full PPR? Franklin, Scatabo, Ramondre, Danny Dimes, if you think that's better than Dak. I wouldn't say he's better than Dak. I don't know that I would lock in Danny Dimes or Dak rest of season. They both feel like a player I'd like to have kind of both of them or being able to pick between the two depending on the matchup. But Danny Dimes, I think he needs to be owned, man. Those rushing quarterbacks, they're definitely worth it. Oh, wow. Full PPR. Franklin, what is that, 24% target share? But does that continue? Scatabo or Ramondre? Scatabo, I think, has the highest ceiling just because he's a rookie, the unknown. But that Giants schedule, it's been rough, and it does not get any better for them. I want to say Ramondre just because I was just talking about Travion Henderson's pass blocking hasn't been great. So Ramondre is going to continue to get work, but all it's going to take is that one fumble he has. And then that second one that usually follows pretty close after. Giants play the Chiefs this week. That one's going to be really rough to run on. After that, they get the Chargers, hard to run on. New Orleans traditionally have been Philly, Denver, Philly, San Francisco, Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. Dude, Scatabo, as exciting as that is, unless he's just absolutely feasting in the receiving game, he's going to have a hard time running the ball. And as Brennan, my co-host, says, he's running looking for CTE. The dude runs in the back of everything. He runs looking, he's a violent guy. So maybe, I don't know if I'd waste number one priority on any of them. I'd go after Ramondre, I'd go after Danny Dimes, but that number one waiver priority, as Mathiasen was talking, he's not looking to use that up yet. Also did a trade, sent away Tyreek and Etienne for Chase Brown and Jacoby. Might have gave up a lot, but wanted to get rid of Tyreek ASAP. Oh, so you got CMC with the risk. Yeah, I don't mind getting rid of Tyreek. Had a bounce back week this week, but does that continue? Do we get streaky 30-40% of consistency out of him? That's probably what I see at this point. And Etienne, he kind of feels like a sell for me as well. Chase Brown, I hope he can maintain dominance. I mean, not that he's been dominating touches, just hasn't been dominating the score. And Jacoby Myers in a full PPR, he absolutely should crush. Yeah, I like the trade. Love the trade. And if Tyreek fell, then you probably had pretty good value across the board on both those players for, Chase Brown, who was drafted pretty high, and Jacoby, probably similar ADP to Tyreek, just a little after. Not too shabby. Dope. More wide receivers who we looking at here. I talked about A. Manor, Troy Franklin, Wandale Robinson. Let's talk about players to cut for some of these. Appreciate the advice. Hey, absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Jerome Ford. Quinshon Judkins has arrived, so Jerome Ford's guy I'm going to be looking to move on from. Marvin Mims. Do you drop him for Troy Franklin? Are you just going to move on there? Adam Thielen, I don't think it's going to be working out. Demario Douglas in non-PPR format. I don't even know what to do with the Patriots. Like, I came in pretty strong on Diggs. Demario Douglas, deep league PPR, I think it works. And then Kayshon Boutte came in and scored the most points this week, but one target. That's it. And the Patriots look way worse than I thought. Vegas gave him 8.5 win total, and they come in there. Really, they should be 0-2 going into week 3. But either way, what are the wide receivers we're looking at? I don't see any. Screw it. Let's talk tight ends. And really, it's not. It's Juwan Johnson. We talked about him last week. If you didn't pick him up, looks like he's probably going to be a pretty consistent top 7, top 8 tight end. Still technically a streamer, but as far as the consistency, as far as the work goes, he's doing everything he can to crush it. Harold Fannin, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Are we Harold Fannin official? Is there still some Njoku love? Because right now you've got Njoku, you've got Laporta, you've got Hawkinson, you've got Andrews. Nope, nothing. Not looking good at all. I mean, it's panic in the streets. You cannot take those tight ends in that middle round. It's bad. It's gross. There's top 3 guys or nothing. Get out of there. Noah, what's happening? Kyron Williams value check. As far as trade value, it's got to be less than what you paid for him right now. You're not exactly thrilled that you have him, but at the end of the day, like, he is still a running back that is guaranteed a X amount of work share or workload. Even if Corum's going to cut into it, I don't think that's exactly crazy that Corum's cutting into it this year. They just re-signed him onto a contract, expecting him to be there a little bit, several more years longer. 82% in week 1, 70% of snaps in week 2. It's still not bad. 19 opportunities this past week, and he had 20 the week before. It's not great because he's only averaging right around 3.7 yards a carry and didn't get a touchdown in week 2. But you had the touchdown on there. It's not bad. I think it's kind of the bruises you're going to get from this team. Played Philly this week, but after that you got Indy, San Francisco, Baltimore's in there, Jacksonville. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be up and down. I think you can play him confidently as a low-end RB1, high-end RB2, and he'll give you those surprising multi-touchdown games a couple times this year. So I'm not freaking. I'm not selling him. I'm not going to go acquire Javonte Williams with my Kyron Williams shares or anything like that. But I want to make sure I've got something in the back. This is about the time where you need to start churning that bench. Make sure that you have pieces that can really fill in. Do you really need 6 wide receivers? Probably not. Probably not. How many of those guys are you really going to play in there at the end? If they're down on your bench, it's usually because you've got the better options. So running backs is what I like to start filling out on here going into this week. What else we have here? Jatavian Sanders. Another heartbreak. Dude, I was holding out for Sanders. I thought after his rookie season, ended up having that injury where he landed on his neck, got hurt. I was like, all right, baby, here we go. Next year, he's going to be good. Drafted Ted McMillan at the top, so not great, but maybe, just maybe. Now, this past week, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 54 yards. It's about what I thought we were going to be getting each and every week from him. And then that surprise touchdown, a third to half of the games. The issue now is the Panthers just lost 2 of their offensive linemen. One tore, I believe it is an MCL, maybe it's an ACL. The other tore a tricep. So big hit to the offensive line. I think the only thing you can really bank on at this point is maybe the offensive line that replaces them is a little shorter, giving Bryce Young a better vantage point there. He can see over the top. Outside of that, maybe we get more tight ends out there. Maybe we get a little action of Trimble and Sanders at the same time, opening up a little bit more work for him, just trying to protect Bryce Young. But Jatavian Sanders, 12-team league, deep enough. You really need a streamer. I don't know. I guess I'd rather play him over Mark Andrews at this point. It's really bad. Should I accept Kyron and JSN for Connor, Etienne, and Ertz? Ray, do you play in a league with... who's this other guy that literally just asked for the inverse of this trade? I think your buddy that might be trading you could be in this chat somewhere. So just to confirm, you're giving away JSN and Kyron and getting Connor, Etienne, and Ertz? Because I do love Ertz. I do love Ertz in there, but he's hard being a trade for candidate because I think his value in your roster is more inflated than what his value is in a trade, if that makes sense. This is a guy, you're getting the Kyron side. Oh, then yes, I would do that 100%. You're getting Kyron and JSN. You buddy, I get it. We were just talking about the temp check on Kyron, but my temp check on Connor and Etienne is I think they have very talented running backs behind them. Behind Kyron, Blake Corum's fine. He's all right. Oh, dude, the amount of people I'm seeing that have Bowers or McBride or Warren, and they also have Ertz or Jawan Johnson or something like that. Dude, it's money right there because you've got your tried and true tight end, and then you also have capital to go get out some more because everybody's panicking in the streets for tight end. So yeah, absolutely, let's go make some of Ertz, especially while he's looking really hot right now. And Connor and Etienne, talked about at the top of the show. I kind of see them as regression candidates. I think they're in a great position, so I'm not trying to trade them. But if something comes that way, I'm okay moving on. And JSN, oh buddy, he is on a path that we've just never seen before, as far as team yards, passing yards, and just the sheer target share he's looking at. Matthias and Kyron and JSN are second, third, and you're giving away like fifth and seventh, and Hertz is irrelevant. Exactly. Yeah, Hertz, he's not even an elite. I'm just messing with you, man. I get a typo. Yeah, he's just trying to simplify it there. I'm trying to get the dramatic big of it, but yeah, Matthiason's got you, man. He's got you covered. This person's RB1 is Pacheco. Yeah, I bet he's panicking in the streets a little bit. 100% take advantage of people that are freaking out. Is like, what is it, like 90-80% of guys play this game of fantasy sports, and I think the main thing that pushes this game is emotion. So yeah, take advantage of it. People are freaking out. Go get them. Go get them, Ray. You got this. Would you trade Garrett Wilson and Kyron for Jacobs? I don't think so. I get Josh Jacobs is good. Passing offense, I think, will continue to get better. Matt LaFleur likes to throw the ball, man. I get Josh Jacobs has been a staple over the last like year and change, but I think Kyron's just a hair under me as far as like a tier wise underneath Jacobs, and to have Garrett Wilson, he's gonna have his bumps and bruises, but his target share is undeniable. Jason, how much should I spend for Waddle, Robinson, Tucker Kraft? I got Njoku and Troy Franklin. I guess you mean as far as like trading for all three of those players, or is that for which is Jake? Oh my god, blanking. Waiver wire. Sorry, I was reading other comments. Ray RB2. Oh, gotcha. It's RB2. Even RB1, RB2, RB3. Pacheco's scary for me. So no, I feel you completely there. Jason, look, Wan'Dale Robinson. I'd dump it all. Maybe not dump it all. I would dump a significant amount for Tucker Kraft. You know, if you're in a FAAB 100 FAAB league, I'd drop 30, 40, maybe even more. I don't know how aggressive everybody's league is a little bit different. So tight ends usually aren't thought after that much, but like I'd go dump a hefty. If you got to go drop 50% on Tucker Kraft, I'm here for it. Wan'Dale Robinson, I don't really want to drop a lot on because I think it's going to come with bumps and bruises. Troy Franklin, we talked about it a little bit. I don't know how consistent he's going to be. I think you might be disappointed more than you aren't with him. Ooh, excuse me. Who should I target for 1 week? I got Fields out this week. Probably made Dak love Caleb option, but yeah, I think we can do better than Caleb. Caleb needs to earn a starting spot back in fantasy, despite his running. Dude, I get Drake Mays playing the Steelers, but that steel curtain might not be anything. It might be tissue paper hanging up right now because we all jumped on the Justin Fields and Jets bandwagon really quick. But I think it was not due to their offense that was playing so well. I think it's because of how bad the Steelers were playing. So if you want to go do that, I don't mind Drake May, Dak, and the Cowboys playing the Bears in Chicago. They're looking for their first win. I don't think I hate that for Dak, but honestly, man, Drake May, that rushing floor, it's not too shabby. And then Love's playing the Browns. Browns have they're 0-2, and that game got out of hand with the Ravens, but they have a really good defense. That score did not reflect how that went. Ray, that's with a thanks. Ray, appreciate you hanging out with us. Come back next week. I'll be here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. If you want more of my Too Much Fantasy Football show, got my own YouTube channel over there, Too Much Fantasy Football, where we get a little bit more R-rated over there. I say everything that comes out the dome. I don't censor it like I do over here. Jason, what do we got? Colts kickers top waiver rest this season. Man, my co-host on my other podcast, he has been rubbing it in. He just beat me this past week with the Colts kicker. That offense is great. They haven't used the punter yet, except for holding kicks. So it looks like Colts kicker might be bringing in some stuff. Waivers FAAB. I got you, Jason. Like I said, a couple bucks. I wouldn't put more than 5 on any of the quarterbacks that you're going after. It sounds like it's a single quarterback league. So if you miss one, I grab them the next night. Okay, new trade. What do we have? We love us some trades over here. This guy's a Bills fan, so I'm trying to finesse. Smart. Someone's been thinking. Folks, know your league. I play in a lot of random leagues, so I don't actually know the people, but if you play on Sleeper, you can see their favorite teams. You can see who they kind of trend towards and stuff like that. Do everything you can. You got to poke around and look what you see. Josh Allen, Devonta Smith, and Braylon Allen for Bijan and A.J. Brown. We're going to throw out Braylon Allen because I kind of think he's relevant for this. Not that he's on a piece I wouldn't like to have, but just overall. So you're upgrading Devonta Smith to A.J. Brown and then Josh Allen for Bijan. Yeah, I do it. As long as you're confident, as long as there's a quarterback, decent amount of quarterbacks on the waiver wire, or if you have a one. Oh. Next comment. I got you, bud. I have Jordan Love and Caleb Goff, Penix on waivers. Okay, so there's plenty of waiver guys you can move to. I don't mind it. I was a huge Drake London fan coming into this season, but he might be a bit disappointing from where I've been projected just based on how much Bijan is being utilized. Even Algier is being utilized quite a bit. Stepping up from Devonta Smith to A.J. Brown. Like, I love Devonta Smith. Great talent, all that, but he is not A.J. Brown. So, if you're okay losing Josh Allen, I can confidently say I've never had Josh Allen in a single quarterback redraft. I've just never spent the capital, so trading him away, I don't know what that feeling is. I just talked about how this game is full of emotion, so it's how much you're attached to him, but I'd be cool with it. I love boosting up my running backs as best as I can, so yeah, if you're able to essentially turn Braylon Allen into Bijan, Devonta Smith into A.J. Brown, and then you're letting go of Josh Allen, it's a huge bump up, so I'd be willing. Hey, absolutely no problem. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Folks, if you're not subscribing, you're hanging out. Join the likes of the other commenters who are hanging out. Look, it's a good time. I'm here to help as best I can anyway. Higgins for Warren. Again, I imagine we're talking T. Higgins, not the rookie. For feels too much, but I'm kind of sorry, can't say that. Shows pops up on the radio station, so I can't say that one, but we see it. We see it's got you screwed there at RB2, to be honest. Got Hampton, Harvey, and Gordon. Yeah, a couple of rookies that aren't doing you too well. Wait, when you say Warren, I imagine you're talking Jalen Warren? I guess I was thinking Tyler Warren initially, but if you're talking running backs, at this point, I think it's a gamble you can take just because obviously the rookie Caleb Johnson for the Steelers, if you are talking Jalen Warren for the Steelers, the rookie there, Caleb Johnson, clearly isn't going to be involved for a while. He just got pulled off special teams after that move, so I do think he's going to be locked in there. And T. Higgins, I have no idea how volatile his scoring is going to be, especially without Burrow the rest of the season. So if you really need an RB2, I don't hate it. RGQ, hey, what's happening? Haven't seen you in a bit. Hey, how's it going? Finally got to tune in for the first time this season. By the way, Andy looking pretty good. Damn, Skippy, man! I'm over here trying to be excited as a Colts fan. I'm really worried we're going to extend Daniel Jones, and I don't know if I want to do that. But yeah, 2-0. First time the Colts have been like that since 09. So living high. I don't use emotion. Yeah, everybody says that until it comes time to pull that trade, man. Gets me every time. Gets me every time. What do we do with Justin Jefferson? The QB situation hurts his ceiling. Does it? Does it? Because Carson Wentz is coming to town right now. And we've seen Kevin O'Connell really tear it up with some bad quarterbacks. So say what you will about Wentz, but he's got just as many starts as more starts than most of the quarterbacks that he's had fill in. So we might get a higher ceiling for Justin Jefferson. You know, J.J. McCarthy is technically a rookie. He's got 2 games under his belt. So the expectation for that, like we traditionally know that rookies can't hold up wide receivers as much as most quarterbacks. Last couple seasons, we've seen that change a little bit more, but like historically, you look at the trend, that's where it's going to go. So who knows? I'm flirting with playing Wentz in some DFS lineups this week. They've got Cincinnati, man. I'm Justin Jefferson. I get it if you're a little worried, but I don't think this week you have to worry about it too much. It's the Bengals. Come on. Braxton, yeah. RGQ, thoughts on this team? Anyone you think I should move or drop? We've got Lamar at QB, wide receiver Amon-Ra, Nico, Hollywood, Rome, Keenan, Godwin. RB, you've got Kyron, Chuba, Trey Benson, Judkins. I don't know what you could sell Laporta, but the only players I'm not really... I mean, Hollywood at Brown at this point. How interested can you be? And then Laporta. So, look, you got to beef up that tight end position just a little bit. Jawan Johnson's out there. I think that's going to be a great... I know it's going to hurt. You spent capital on Laporta, and like starting Jawan Johnson over him might be the direction you go, especially with the injury hitting Laporta. I need to check out more on that. And the last one we have here, thinking of trying to move Keenan and Pacheco if I can. I like Keenan rest of season. Even if he doesn't amount to anything, the price you had, you're not really losing out. Pacheco, though, 100%. If you can find anything from Pacheco at this point, you know, probably not getting Tootin. Everybody's going to be excited about him. But if you're able to get, probably not getting J.K. Dobbins either. If you can flip him for what, maybe I'd take Dylan Sampson at this point. I would take Scattaboo, you know, take the shot there at that one. Maybe the Travion Henderson person, if they're really fed up and not liking that. I like his overall projection longer in the season. I don't know. It's rough. Yeah, talked about tight ends. The only thing we didn't really talk about, defensive streamers, folks. Seattle's defense looks legit. Back-to-back weeks, they looked good. So as far as ownership, I believe it's under 20% over there on Yahoo. So that's going to be my defensive streamer. Boom! Had to get that in. I had to make sure we got that locked in. Folks, I cannot thank you enough for coming to hang out with me today. Like I said, every single week we'll be here Tuesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be me and or Brennan here talking about walking the wire with you, going through those waiver wire claims, picking it up. It is Too Much Fantasy Football over here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. So like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Looking for more content from us, I've got my own YouTube channel, Too Much Fantasy Football, where we do more redraft content, a little bit more explicit, and then we do collaborative drafts. If you know what that is, go check it out. They're pretty fun, pretty exciting. But until next time, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Got Matthias in one last thing. Allen, a good player and a good team. If trading gets another player and good team, don't trade. My boy, he's here helping us out just about every time I'm live. I'm loving it. That's exactly what we're looking at. What's the value of Rashee Rice? I don't have an out spot for him. That's got to be for you. Depends on how deep that bench is. If you are 6 or less, it's really hard to hold on to him. But we are about to go into week 3. He's got 6 games to sit out. So if he's out there in the waiver wire, if you can get through this week, if you're a 3-0 team, I'm picking him up 100%. If you're a 2-0 team and your bench is deep enough, I don't mind it. But it's can you afford to essentially burn a roster spot for multiple weeks? But I think he's going to plug in and absolutely crush as far as a wide receiver one. It's a must hold. Yeah, 100%. If you can get him on your team, must hold. Just traded Waddle Debo for Nico and Krosky. Little Krosky merit action, huh? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get it. Other people using the soundbite. It was pretty obvious, but timestamp had it first. My RBs, Derrick Henry, Jacobs, Javonte, wide receivers, Chase, Devonta, or maybe it's Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Olave, Godwin, Cup. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think Debo is going to be projecting, maybe not. This running back situation might continue to get work, but just his age and his usage and stuff like that, I don't know if he's going to hold up the rest of the season. He will be gone if you drop him. Depends the league, man. I'm playing some short bench leagues. If you're in a 12-team league with only 5 bench spots, it's pretty rough to hold him right now. 2 wide receivers, 2 RBs, 3 flex. Oh, love me a good 3 flex league. Folks, I got to get out of here. They're flashing the light at me. We got to shut it down. We got a timeline. We got to keep this under. But keep coming back here. Subscribe, like, leave me some comments. This was a lot of fun. I can't thank you all enough for coming and hang out with me. Do it again next week. And that's all I got for you. Peace.